You're tuned in to the Robert Judat podcast, where curiosity meets human peer review. Though the voice is artificial, the knowledge is authentic. Let's begin.
A company that was once a secretive government contractor just reported 104% revenue growth and is now worth $424 billion. Palantir has quietly become the AI operating system for Fortune 500 companies and the federal government. Today, we're breaking down Palantir's AIP, their revolutionary approach to secure AI orchestration, how their 12-layer architecture is reshaping enterprise operations, and why this matters for anyone working with AI in business. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how enterprise AI actually works at scale and what separates real agentic systems from chatbot gimmicks. Let me hand this over to someone who's been tracking this transformation closely. Help us understand what makes Palantir's approach so different from everything else in the enterprise AI space.
Most enterprise AI platforms bolt an LLM onto an existing data stack and call it Agentic. Palantir's AIP takes a fundamentally different approach with a 12-layer architecture where the ontology, not the language model, sits at the center. According to Palantir's architecture documentation, their system can query billions of objects and orchestrate tens of thousands of actions.
Wait, billions of objects? That's a massive scale. But let's back up. What exactly is this ontology system you mentioned?
Think of the ontology as the agent's persistent queryable memory system. It models enterprise processes into objects with clear business meaning: a customer, a work order, a supply chain route. Properties, links, and actions map the relationships between them. What makes this clever is how it implements 4 distinct memory types drawn from cognitive science.
4 memory types? That sounds like how our brains actually work.
Exactly. Working memory holds information for the current agent loop. Episodic memory stores relevant information across execution sessions with temporal markers. Semantic memory represents learned knowledge organized categorically. And procedural memory is code designed to augment the model's implicit knowledge for stable execution.
So instead of stuffing everything into an LLM's prompt window, they've created this persistent brain that agents can actually think with?
That's the architectural decision that separates Palantir from platforms where agents are essentially stateless between invocations. The ontology ensures a consistent surface area across all 4 memory types for both human and agentic users.
This is fascinating, but let's talk about the security piece. How do you orchestrate multiple LLMs securely when you're dealing with sensitive enterprise data?
AIP's secure LLM integration is one of its 12 core capabilities. According to Palantir's security documentation, they enable secure access to commercial LLMs like GPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok, plus open-source models like Llama through Palantir-managed infrastructure that ensures no transmitted data is retained by third-party providers.
No data retention by third parties. That's huge for enterprises. But how do they actually prove that?
Palantir secures strict technical and contractual guarantees from third-party model service providers. No customer data is used for retraining, and they provide end-to-end observability with monitoring tools for every step of AI-driven workflows, including fine-grained monitoring for all data flows and logging for every action taken by human users or AI agents.
That level of observability sounds critical. You need to know exactly what your AI agents are doing, especially in regulated industries.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The search results show that the enterprise AI battle isn't actually about models anymore. VentureBeat reported that Microsoft and OpenAI are leading enterprise agent orchestration, but the real fight is over who controls the layer where agents plan, call tools, access data, and run workflows.
So it's not about which model answers a prompt best, but who controls the infrastructure where AI agents actually do work?
Exactly. Tom Findling from AI cybersecurity startup Conifers told VentureBeat, "This is the convergence moment for enterprise AI. Models and agent frameworks have matured enough together that enterprises are now shifting focus beyond model quality to the control plane around it."
That makes sense. Let's dive into how this actually works in practice. What do these agentic workflows look like when they're deployed?
The search results show some fascinating real-world examples. Take General Mills. They're using AIP for complex supply chain processes and AI-enabled supply chain automation. Or PG&E, which uses it for frontline wildfire support and public safety power shutoffs.
Wildfire support? That's life or death decision-making. How do you trust AI agents with that level of responsibility?
That's where Palantir's human-in-the-loop philosophy comes in. According to the search results, most AI companies aim to replace human judgment with automated black box algorithms, but Palantir's software is designed to augment human intelligence. Their platforms integrate disparate data sources into a single environment where humans can simulate outcomes and take action.
So the agents aren't making the final calls, they're providing enhanced intelligence for human decision makers?
Right, and this extends to how they handle context engineering. AIP equips developers with no-code, low-code, and pro-code tools for integrating contextual data, logic, and action. All modalities of data integration, batch, streaming, real-time replication can be leveraged while adhering to security, governance, and provenance tracking guarantees.
The provenance tracking is interesting. You need to know where every piece of information came from, especially in regulated environments.
And speaking of regulated environments, the search results show Palantir partnering with Microsoft to deploy AIP in Azure government secret and top secret clouds. This integrated solution enables operators to safely build AI-driven operational workloads across defense and intelligence verticals.
Top secret clouds, that's the highest level of government classification. The security requirements must be incredible.
Absolutely. Shyam Sankar, Palantir's CTO, said, "They're thrilled to be the first industry partner to deploy Microsoft Azure OpenAI service in classified environments. This shows how far enterprise AI security has advanced."
Let's talk about the business impact. The numbers you mentioned earlier were pretty staggering.
The growth has been explosive. According to the search results, Palantir reported Q1 2026 U.S. revenue growth of 104% year over year, with U.S. commercial revenue guidance of 120% year over year. They went from a market cap surge of over 150% in 2025 to approximately $424 billion entering 2026.
Those are incredible numbers. What's driving this growth?
A big part is their bootcamp model. The search results show they hosted thousands of 5-day intensive workshops where commercial clients built live AI tools in days rather than months. This try-before-you-buy approach collapsed sales cycles from 6 months to mere days, leading to a 69% surge in customer count.
6 months to days? That's a complete transformation of enterprise sales. But let's step back. How does this compare to what other companies are doing in the space?
The search results show interesting developments. Companies like Automation Anywhere launched Enterprise Claw in collaboration with Cisco, NVIDIA, Okta, and OpenAI. But their approach is different. They're bringing Claw-style AI agents into enterprise operations across cloud platforms and behind-the-firewall infrastructure.
Claw-style agents, that sounds more like individual task automation rather than the orchestrated system approach Palantir is taking.
Exactly. Mihir Shukla from Automation Anywhere said, "Money Claw-style AI agents are incredibly powerful, but most were designed for isolated environments or individual users, while enterprise operations span teams, cloud platforms, desktops, on-premises systems, and highly regulated infrastructure."
So there's this fundamental difference between point solutions and platform approaches. What about the broader orchestration landscape?
The search results from AI Multiple show that LLM orchestration involves managing and integrating multiple large language models to perform complex tasks efficiently. They benchmarked agentic orchestration frameworks using identical 5-agent travel planning workflows, measuring pipeline latency, token usage, and agent-to-agent transitions.
5-agent workflows, that gives you a sense of the complexity involved. How do you coordinate all these different AI agents without them stepping on each other?
That's where protocols become crucial. The search results reference research on orchestrated multi-agent systems that details 2 complementary communication protocols: the Model Context Protocol, which standardizes how agents access external tools and contextual data, and the Agent-to-Agent Protocol, which governs peer coordination and negotiation.
These protocols sound like they're trying to solve the same coordination problems we see in distributed computing systems.
That's a great analogy. The research notes that this transition mirrors broader developments in distributed computing, where value emerges less from individual capabilities and more from orchestrated interactions within a collective. Economic efficiency is a key driver. Distributed collectives of smaller agents often outperform costly all-purpose deployments.
So instead of one massive AI trying to do everything, you have specialized agents working together. That makes a lot of sense from both a performance and cost perspective.
And we're seeing this play out across industries. The search results show Brightcore launching 8 AI copilots for insurance operations, submission intake, policy summaries, claims summaries. Their CEO, Ray Villeneuve, said most AI solutions are bolted on top of legacy core systems as loosely coupled tools, but they embed AI directly into the operational core.
That embedded approach seems to be the key differentiator. Rather than AI as an add-on, it's woven into the fabric of how work gets done.
Exactly. And the results are impressive. Brightcore's submission intake and readiness copilot reduces manual intake work by 80 to 90%. When AI is properly integrated into workflows rather than bolted on top, you see these dramatic efficiency gains.
80 to 90% reduction in manual work, that's transformational. But let's talk about the security challenges this creates. How do you govern all these AI agents?
The search results show this is a major focus area. There's research on architecting secure AI agents that emphasizes a paradigm shift from deterministic to probabilistic security models. It identifies primary security threats like prompt injection and excessive agency, and proposes design principles including sandboxing, role-based access control, and human-in-the-loop controls.
Probabilistic security models, that's a fascinating concept. Traditional security is about preventing specific known threats, but with AI, you're dealing with emergent behaviors.
Right, and Palantir's approach addresses this through their governance framework. According to their documentation, AIP incorporates all of Palantir's advanced security measures with robust access controls, encryption, and auditing capabilities. Built-in governance tools help organizations maintain accountability and historical lineage in AI operations.
Historical lineage, so you can trace back every decision an AI agent made and understand the reasoning behind it?
Exactly. And this extends to their data handling practices. Palantir acts strictly as a data processor. The client owns the data and determines how it's used. Each client receives a unique instance of the software, ensuring that a bank's data never touches a hospital's data.
That data isolation is crucial for enterprise adoption. No one wants their competitive data leaking to competitors through a shared AI system.
And it's not just about data isolation, it's about trust. The search results show Palantir has partnerships spanning from the USDA for modernized farmer support to GE Aerospace for military aircraft readiness. These aren't just technology deals, they're trust relationships for mission-critical operations.
Mission critical is the key phrase there. When you're talking about military aircraft readiness or farmer support, there's no room for error.
Which brings us to an interesting development. The search results show Checkpoint launching an agentic network security orchestration platform. Jonathan Zanger, their CTO, said, "For the first time, security teams can operate entirely at the level of business intent, while agents handle everything below it."
Business intent versus technical implementation, that's a powerful abstraction. Security teams can focus on what they want to achieve rather than how to configure thousands of rules.
Exactly. Checkpoint noted that enterprise networks have grown beyond human capacity to manage. With hybrid cloud adoption, M&A fragmentation, and the explosion of connected devices creating environments no human team was designed to secure at scale.
So we're reaching the limits of human-scale management across multiple domains, not just security, but operations, data analysis, decision-making. AI orchestration isn't just nice to have, it's becoming necessary.
That's the fundamental shift we're seeing. The search results show Palantir's revenue growing 137% year over year in Q4 2025, with 571 enterprise customers now on the platform. AIP is rapidly becoming the reference architecture for how large organizations deploy AI agents in production.
571 enterprise customers, that's significant adoption for such a complex platform. What does this mean for the broader enterprise AI landscape?
The search results suggest this growth has fundamentally changed the competitive landscape, forcing legacy software providers to abandon chatbot gimmicks in favor of the agentic AI models that Palantir pioneered. We're seeing a shift from simple question answering to autonomous systems that execute complex business logic.
Chatbot gimmicks, that's a harsh but probably accurate assessment of a lot of early enterprise AI implementations.
And the numbers back it up. The search results show that in the VB Pulse Enterprise Agentic Orchestration Tracker, Microsoft Copilot Studio and Azure AI Studio led with 38.6% primary platform adoption, while OpenAI's Assistance API held 25.7%. The category is clearly taking shape around orchestration platforms rather than individual models.
So when you step back from all this technical detail, what's the bigger picture here? What does this transformation mean for how businesses actually operate?
We're witnessing the emergence of what the search results call autonomous enterprises, where AI runs enterprise work across systems, not just within isolated tools. This isn't about replacing humans, but about augmenting human intelligence with systems that can operate at scales and speeds that humans simply can't match.
Autonomous enterprises, that's a powerful concept. And based on everything we've discussed, it sounds like the companies that figure out secure AI orchestration first will have a massive competitive advantage.
Absolutely. The search results show Palantir's business model is built on the premise that the world's most important institutions don't need more data, they need better decisions. That's the real value proposition of sophisticated AI orchestration.
Better decisions, not just more data. That's a crucial distinction that I think a lot of organizations are still figuring out.
And the window for figuring it out is narrowing. With Palantir's bootcamp model collapsing traditional sales cycles and competitors like Microsoft and OpenAI rapidly building out their orchestration capabilities, enterprises need to move quickly to avoid being left behind.
So here's what this really comes down to. We're at an inflection point where AI orchestration is becoming the new enterprise operating system. Companies like Palantir aren't just selling software, they're providing the infrastructure for how modern organizations think, decide, and act. The winners will be those who can securely coordinate multiple AI agents to augment human intelligence at unprecedented scale. If you're working in enterprise technology, start paying attention to orchestration platforms, not just individual AI models. The future belongs to systems that can coordinate intelligence, not just generate text. Thanks for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. The next time you hear about AI in business, you'll know to look beyond the chatbot and ask about the orchestration layer underneath.